turned 5 round upside down, let me tell you. First thing, they signed the outside letter. Helena Olsen or whatever her name is, and then, so they signed the outside envelope, Helena, but then they signed the actual hate mail, Nikki. So we aren't dealing with. We aren't dealing with the smartest anarchy princess out there, but she should feel special because unlike her, guys actually want to pass her letter around. She's not even that, So let me go in here a little bit. I listen when you call into the Freedom Corner sometime. Sounds like a Valentine's Day letter to me. Right. I just wanted to let you know that although Mickey, Nicole, and Lammy, because that's not a T, report that there are 20 to 40 people on the corner listening to you, drone on and on. This is simply untrue. Simply untrue is underlined. Freedom Corner is known as a joke, even to MAGA. The streamers don't pull in more than 500 viewers from across the entire world on a good night. Last time I checked, I was how many streamers or how many followers does Stormtrooper have?
He has over 1,000 people on Getter right now.
He has over 1,000 people just on Getter right now, not to mention YouTube and Rumble.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there's 4 other live streams out here right now that have at least 100 to 500 people on them.
So Freedom Corner, so fact check number 1. Not good for those guys. Listening to you drone on and drone about misinformation. No, the Wisconsin election was not stolen. Sherry probably can't even read. I don't know if you can read cursive. TBH. TBH is not in cursive though. So thank God I can read the TBH stuff. So although we aren't, I don't think we ever talked about the election, the Wisconsin election. What I did talk about is the Wisconsin governor kidnapping. So I'm governor kidnapping. So I'm going to have to mark that in as fact check number 2, not not going in those guys' favor.
Well, in their defense, I did talk about the Wisconsin election, and it was proven to be a fraud.
That's right. That's true. That's true.
Fact check number 2.
Oh, Sherry, can you...
So keep on telling yourself because the Freedom Corner reported on Freedom Corner is reported on to law enforcement and USAO every night. You're getting long enough sentences. You are not getting long enough sentences. And that helps a little bit with dealing with listening to your incoherent babble.
Well,
you insurrected the Capitol. You insurrected the Capitol to keep in place.
Patricia all day. Well, she just gave herself up because that's Patricia's words all day long. The D.C. commissioner.
Yeah, that.
They probably had it right together so they could get some words to spell. Probably both.
Yeah, so it was sent from Capital District 208 on the 12th of February.
Probably
So,
her office.
I would, if someone actually did admit to writing this online, I would love to get that screenshot, because I'm definitely going to put it in my upcoming court case and put it on the record. Patricia Guino. I don't know. She doesn't sound like an ex-girlfriend of mine. DC commissioner.
Yes.
She does not sound like an ex-girlfriend of mine. I'm just letting you know. You insurrected the Capitol. Listen here, bitch. If I was in charge of any insurrection, believe me, you would have gotten an insurrection. All right? Unlike your husband, who has a hard time getting an erection. So, sleeping next to you, I can only imagine. To put a loser, keep in place a terrible, by the way, your handwriting is terrible. I can read cursive fine, but your handwriting is horrible. A terrible loser president. You were angry. I don't know.
Did you say hangry?
The one, you were angry. I don't know, something, the election.
Before.
And guess what?
I think the
Trump
word is
was
before.
the president. We hope Trump is the GOP nominee, because he is the only appointment Biden can be. Insurrectionism, revolution. You're not a hero. You're a loser. You're a self-centered criminal, unintelligent loser. I have no idea why what news you're watching, but things you say aren't accurate. Latest polling shows Biden ahead of Trump by 5 to 7 points.
It's a fair
So there's this thing called the Electoral College. The last thing that I saw was Trump way ahead. And it's also, I have to give it to you, it is a year out. So, we still haven't gone to war with Iran yet, which Biden's going to screw up royally, because the world is literally laughing at us. But I will say, guess what? If it's Putin's poll, I just saw on Scripps News today that Putin the puppet, is actually prefers Joe Biden to be president.
Yeah, he does. I read that.
Saw it on Scripps News. It's got to be true.
Because he can throw him out.
So anyway, another thing that's annoying about you is the amount of whining you do about the jail. Jail sucks, and your exaggerations aren't helping your cause at all. I'm going to have to fact check you again, because I'm the one person who actually doesn't exaggerate. In fact, I call out J6ers who do exaggerate. What's his name? Mr. I got electrocuted into Isaac Thomas. Mr. I got electrocuted in the shower. Or Mr. Brown Coffee or Mr. Brown Water. Yeah, him too. That doesn't help. However, there's enough done, or there's enough being said that is truthful, that things are starting to change. For everyone. Not just J6ers, but for everyone. White, black, brown, yellow, purple, pink. He, she. Those things that you call each other and decide that you're one and the other, and bipolar and bi this and bi that. I don't know. Besides biracial, I really don't understand, you can't be whatever the hell else you call yourselves. Just an FYI, nobody on the corner will be doing time with you, so I hope that you'll have to reflect on your actions. Well, actually, I think people on the corner have been doing time with you, and I thank you very much for that. Although you're not in jail, but you're spending your time day in and day out, and you're giving us a voice. So I thank you very much for that.
And we're honored to do it.
Yep. And so just an FYI. Oh yeah, I said that. Blah 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 blah. Understand why the vast majority of people consider you domestic terrorist. Listen, I wish I would have known I was going to get the term domestic terrorist from the left. Because honestly, I would have done something on January 6th that was deserving of domestic terroristic. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna call me one, at least give me the chance to do something. I mean, it's pretty pathetic. But please stop asking about protesters because they aren't going to be there because no one cares. Well, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. As soon as this kangaroo court, and as soon as these judges, whether they be Trump appointees, Biden appointees, any appointees, they're basically one-party appointees. As soon as they get some stones and actually call it out how it is and say, hey, listen, whether there was a gathering or not, these left-wing extremists, like the pro-Palestinians and everything else, had a gathering that wasn't permitted. Okay, so right off of the bat, you can't say, oh well, you know, they had groups, and all these right-wing extremists had meetings that, you know, they had a planned protest. That, yes, it was a planned protest. That, and if they met somewhere, then it was a planned protest. There were no guns. A couple of people who did have guns, they came from Texas, and they don't go anywhere without their guns. Guess what? They didn't pull them on any cops. No one burned down the Capitol building because that's what would have happened if BLM was there. In large amounts of troops. And that's what would have happened.
You have 1 minute remaining.
If Trump people weren't there stopping Antifa, then that's exactly what would have happened. As far as being an insurrection, listen, I mean, you can't take over the United States government with your fist. You can't do it. So even though I think that half of these cops are a bunch of fucking liars, and eventually the video proof will come out, because I'm sure as hell going to call out the cops in my case. But until these judges get some stones, stop being Merrick Garland's, slaves, it just won't change. But alas, we have 11 months until Trump gets in, and when we're all part of it. So
tell
with
us
that,
how
thank
many
you
pages,
so.
How many pages was your
4
letter?
handwritten pages. 4 handwritten.
Thank you for